Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sunday night, doing it with DeWitt. Beautiful night out here. I got sun shining in my window up here. I got my lights coming. I got a little different camera set up for this what we're doing tonight. And yes, good evening. And kind of weird because the camera's at a different angle just to catch everything, and I'm kind of looking up at the screen here. So, but anyways, good evening, and I want to say hi to everybody who's here. Dominic Versetto. That's too bad, Dominic. You said that two of your Canadian streams that you watch every Sunday have canceled, and that's too bad. But I'm glad I'm able to make it, and I'm glad that all you guys are able to make it as well. So hello to Dominic. Hello to DeWitt 3D. Oh, that's me. Hey, Brendan Wilson. Hello, welcome. And Joe Velasco is here, and we have Non-Fam. Are you sure that's who you are, Non-Fam? I get confused pretty easy at my age, you know. And we have Kieran is there. Hello, Kieran. Wow, early in the morning for you. And the apprentice is here. And I see we also have Brendan Wilson. I said that again. There's DeWitt 3D again commenting. 3D Printing Newbie Milan. Hello, how are you, buddy? Good to see you here. And who else popped in? Who else didn't I mention? I mentioned Dominic Rexwaldy. Hello and welcome. I think if I miss you, forgive me, but I'll find you. WolfPup67 is here. Hello. And Mark Flanagan. Hello, my buddy. How are you? Stream Elements is here. Awesome to see Stream Elements here, but you guys on YouTube won't see that because I'm dual streaming. I may get caught and get my hand slapped one of these days, but what the heck. And Dean Hines is here. Hello. Hutchmaker Space, welcome. And Mac, I butcher names sometimes. Mac CJ12345, hello. And Kieran Clark, look at that, 8 o'clock, been at work already for 4 hours in Tomorrowland. You've been at work for 4 hours, so since 4 a.m. your time. Wow, that is dedicated. And then we have Scott Lemke. Hello and good evening. Wow. Yes, everybody hit that like button and subscribe tonight. We got a kind of a fun show for you tonight. As the title says, we have a box here to open. I've been printing parts galore. I cannot get over how many parts are involved in this. So we have a lot going on. I have over on this little printer over here, we have the rat rig actually working tonight. Oh, and look, of course, my camera's frozen when I go to put it on. But the rat rig is printing the E3D V6 full-size or 500% scale model, sort of like I did those other hot ends. That first hot end model I did, which was the standard hot end, is now available on Cults 3D. You can look it up. And then also somewhere in this room, oh, it's just over here behind me, I have the all-metal Micro Swiss hot end that's just about ready to be popped over onto Cults with all my STL files and pictures. I just got to take some pictures of that thing. So, but yeah, that's kind of what's going on. And I've got the FlashForge Creator 3 over there is busy printing a few of the black parts for this build that's happening tonight. I decided on the olive green and some of the black parts. One thing I would, Sith Lord Britt, hey, hello, welcome Sith Lord Britt, thanks for popping in. And K2 Design Lab is here, Stalker, and we have Tron. This is going to be a fun show. Yeah, we may not get a lot built tonight. We're doing an unboxing, and there's a lot of little things to unbox in here and talk about. So we'll see what happens. Let me see if I got a message back yet. Didn't you do it tonight? We were out. Oh, okay. I invited my tech support guy to come on. He's out at dinner. I didn't give him much notice because I'll say that's okay. And there we go. And he's out at dinner. I didn't give him much notice because I figured tonight is going to be about opening it and seeing that all the parts are here. Because there's a lot of little parts on this thing. I'm kind of excited for this build, but I figure, hey, if I can build a rat rig, I can build a Voron, right? So. But I'm definitely going to need my tech support buddy when it comes to some of the finer, intricate details for sure. And I'm sure some of the people on here, you folks, I'm sure some of you folks are familiar with this guy as well. So we will see. So who else has popped on? Can I tell you a little or a lot about the Voron? I can tell you a little about the Voron because this is the first time I've actually laid my hands on a Voron part. I can tell you that there are a lot, and let me switch to my overhead camera here. There we go. I can tell you that there are a lot of parts. Like, I mean, a lot of little printed parts. I just started printing these parts this week. I've been printing them in ABS. Oh, and I should mention while I'm at it, let me turn a banner on here. If you see that banner scrolling across the bottom, this stream would not be happening without the tremendous support that I'm getting from Sparta 3D, which is sparta3d.ca in Canada, LDO Motors in conjunction with Sparta 3D, and 3D Lab Tech, a local guy here who basically provided me the ABS filament, the black and green ABS that I'm running all these parts for this build on. So show them some love if you're in Canada. They are great people. So and then of course LDO Motors, show them love as well. We're all familiar with them and the quality of motors they make. So all of these parts have been printed on my FlashForge Creator 3. First time I've run ABS on that printer, and it is doing a phenomenal job. I just realized that I'm talking on the wrong camera again. And it's doing a phenomenal job on all these parts. Considering it's my first time running ABS on them. Like, I mean, we're speaking zero cleanup. I mean, like, if you check out the quality of these prints, I mean, this is how they're coming off of the printer. And the holes, I mean, zero cleanup period on these parts. So I'm just saying I'm quite impressed with it, but I'm also overwhelmed by the number of parts that are involved in this. So anyways, let me grab my mouse. And Brent Miller, hello, welcome. Thank you. You installed a copperhead mini bimetal heat break and a nickel-plated copper nozzle on your Creality hot end. Oh, cool. I have to look into that. You hear its name a lot, Sith Lord or Brett? Yeah, me too. And then, you know, I relate Voron and Clipper. I relate those two. So now that I've got a little bit of familiarity with Clipper from the Rat Rig, I figure, what the heck? It's time to build a Voron, and this little guy will be on display at the Calgary Maker Faire happening in May. So, okay, who else am I missing, and what else am I missing in chat before I get started here? I love you normally means Wales icicles, so the stab you event is okay. I don't know what's going on there. That's a back conversation. G Ready Prints, hello, welcome. And 3D Printing Llama just hosted with 10 viewers. Oh, thank you for the raid, Llama. Did you raid me? I'm actually watching my StreamYard, so I don't see the raid, but thank you so much for the raid, Llama. I appreciate that. Wow. And welcome, raiders. Give me a follow on Twitch if you're not following. Follows are free. Subscriptions are nice too, but I'm not overly worried about that. But on YouTube, subscriptions are free. And if you're not subscribed to me on YouTube, go ahead down on the bottom here, hit the like button and subscribe to YouTube and keep following this sort of this build and what we're going to be doing. But thank you so much, Llama, for the raid. I really appreciate that. Cool. And there we go. And we have DB3D Makes. Welcome. Hello. Hello. Wow. We have Bearcore. Justin. Hello, Justin. Wow. Cool. Icicle stabbing. Okay. Wow. That's a whole other conversation. So I'll keep the Twitch stream open here, and I'll keep my chat open here so I can see, because you know I almost missed that raid, but thank you so much. So anyways, let's get at it. So we have the boxes of parts. As I say, I've been printing parts, and I'm currently printing the black parts over on the FlashForge Creator 3. And as I showed you earlier, I'm printing that hot end on a hot end model for the E3D V6 on the FlashForge. So let's bring this box over. I got a few views here tonight. So for the opening right now, I'm going to do an overhead. So I got an overhead view for this. Whoop, there we go. And then I've set up my cameras hopefully in a way that's going to help. So we of course have this main camera that I'm on. We have, oh no, that's the frozen camera for there. So forget that. Then we have the overhead camera, and then we have this sort of a side view here. Okay. And then, but I've also done a split screen. So maybe afterwards I'll get into the split screen camera here, and we will maybe do that. But you guys let me know what you guys prefer. But for now, we're going to go to the overhead and just pop open this box. So Chris Travis, hello, hello, and hello. And so if I miss saying hello, I apologize. But if you need to ask me a question directly, I will try and follow the chat. If I miss your question, please post it again. It doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. It just means I'm focusing on what we're doing here. So let's slice this box open. It had an outer box. I took the outer box off already. I don't want to go too deep. I don't want to cut anything. And I see by the label on the side here, right here, that this is the black. I'm getting the black frame. I was wondering if the frame color would clash or go with the olive green parts I'm printing, which I call mash green because they kind of remind me of the colors of MASH. For all you old fogies there that remember the television series MASH. So my co-host, I didn't give my co-host enough notice tonight. He wasn't aware I was going to start this tonight, but I think tonight, because there's so much involved in this, I may not need him tonight. We're doing a 2-hour stream tonight. I've got to be strict with the 2 hours, and I think I can get by without him tonight. And but he definitely wants to come on. So as we open the box, first thing we see is a Big Tree Tech main board. So we have a Big Tree Tech, and it looks like it's an SKR Mini E3 version 2. There we go. Oh, it's just a cute, tiny little main board with it's got 128 megabyte. Interesting, 128 megabyte micro SD, some heat sinks, and a USB cable. Cool. Okay, so we have our main board. We'll throw that aside. We have a little kit with a LDO Voron Kit 0 kit number, and I have my kit number V022032908856. So it's actually got a kit number to it, a little label. Very cool. Serialized so that we know everything's in it. Okay, we'll put that aside. They're OD, olive drab green, the standard military color. Yeah. Very cool. Oh, I think somebody just got home to my house. Cool. Okay, here's the hot end. We have a Fadius Dragonfly BMO hot end. Okay, there we go. So we'll pop that out. And in here we have a power cord. That's always handy to have. Throw that over here. Let's see, what else? So here we have the V0. There we go. We have the frame kit made with love by LDO Motors, black frame kit. Okay, we have a frame kit, electronics and wiring. So we have, now the one thing about the LDO kits, which is really cool, if you can kind of see on there, is there's, from what I understand, no crimping involved. All the wires and all the crimping is already done for me. So like that, for instance, like for the power switch, for instance, it's already wired up, okay? Then we have our little fans that are already wired with plugs. Looks like we have our hot end. We have our, oh, that's interesting. It's like a clear, it's a very clear Bowden tubing. Clear Bowden tubing. Raspberry Pi 3 Model B+, and a 5-volt power supply for the Raspberry Pi 3. Look at that. Okay. Throw that back in here. Oh, that frame you've got with the etching is beautiful, Dan. Yes. It is beautiful. So the kit serial and any eventually Voron serials are two separate things. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know, because I've heard that you go through when you're done the build, Kit Skyfire, and I've heard that you go through and you basically apply for a serial number when you're done the build. So now we have our V0 linear rail kit. That's a sealed box, but there's the linear rails. 440C stainless steel, 5 pieces. Okay, cool. We have a, I forget what they call these things. It's a little cable, it's like a cable organizer type thing. I have these on a lot of my machines at my full-time gig, and yeah, for organizing cables. Anyways, that's what that is. Hi, dog. Oh, I have a lovely wife home. Hello.
Hi, babe.
Oh, did I leave? Oh, I've got water. Did you bring me a drink?
No, did you want water?
No, I got water. I got water. And then we have the Voron 0.1 kit, tool head in motion. Okay, so what's the tool head in motion? Oh, it's all the parts. So we have bearings, we have screws, we have bolts. Oh, hang on. You got to come on. I have, now, dog. I have a
Hit
dog.
that like button and subscribe.
Hang on, Ethan. I got to show you where to look. We have a special guest that's going to look right there. Look right now. You're on screen.
Hit that like button and subscribe. Bye.
There we go. If you don't hit the like button and subscribe now after you see that, just leave the stream. That's it. That's all I can say. Just leave. So, yeah, there we go. Hey, FU1212Y. Is that like fuzzy?
Can I have a kiss?
Ah, yeah, you can have a kiss. You got to come here.
No.
Okay, the wife wants a kiss. Hang on 1 second. I can't say no to that. I love you.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Family just got home from a dinner. Okay, furry. Oh, furry. Okay, FU1212 furry. Okay, makes sense. When you get it built, you can assist with the serial. Okay, sounds good, Dan. Appreciate that. And what else are you guys saying here? Those RPIs are like gold right now. RPIs. Oh, Raspberry Pis. Yes, yes. They are. I mean, that's so, yeah. Well, I got contacted and asked if I had a Raspberry Pi, and I have a Pi Zero. So he said, just I'll throw in a Pi 3. No soldering. Apparently not, Dominic. Sorry, I'm not going to burn myself. Although there is heat, apparently heat set inserts or something. So there will be a soldering iron involved. So there's a potential for burning. So yes, so don't be too disappointed, okay? Hey guy, yeah, he's so cute. Hi to you, fam Tim. Okay, cool. You was on Macro Stream. I was on Macro Stream. Oh, okay, cool. Well, welcome. Oh yeah, so we have Twitchers and YouTubers. So we have, let's see, it looks like an even split, 19 and 19. 19 Twitchers, 19 YouTubers. That's awesome. Right off, guys. Happy unboxing. 1 a.m. Night all. Okay, Kate Print 3D, you have a great night too. So this will be, again, of course, the video won't be available on Twitch, but it will be available on YouTube. So let's go back to the overhead. So we finished off with where? We have tool head in motion. So this looks like it's just basically tools, nuts and bolts. We have, there's a little heavier box. It's the motors, LDO V01 motor kits. So looks like we have 2, 3, 4 motors in here. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, we have like a pancake stepper motor, which is for the extruder. And we have some smaller, and then a big spring thing here. So we'll get all that. And it looks like 1, 2, 3 different size motors. So I'm going to guess that the pancake motor's for the extruder, and the other motors for X, Y, and Z. There we go. We have motors. Okay, what else do we have? In this little box, we have 24-volt power supply, and it is a, let's see, is it a branded power supply? It is a Meanwell branded power supply, 24-volt. And before I forget, while I'm thinking about it right now, just while I'm doing the unboxing, I am going to flick that little switch over to 115 volt, so I don't forget that later. Well, it's on top of mind. So nice little power supply. So nice to see them using a name brand Meanwell. And it's a 220, 24 volt, 150 amp, I think. Let's see. I think that's what it is. Yeah, okay. And they even tell you on the note there, make sure you check your power switch, so it's set for your proper country. Hey, Dougal, how are you? And Will, you're planning on a V0 build for a while, but been hard to get one in Canada. Looks like they are back in stock. Yeah, this one shipped directly from China for me. So, and thank you so much, Furry, for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate that. And thanks again for the raid at DB3D, over 50 followers. Whoop, whoop, look at that. Good. I love to see people rating each other. Okay, then we have the Fasteners, tools, and miscellaneous. So, there we go. So the nice thing they provide, as I was doing a lot of reading on this, so they provide some tools, and they even provide you with the heat insert. It's the tool that you put on your soldering iron to put the inserts in. I hope it'll fit my Weller soldering iron. I don't know, but we'll find out. Looks like we have a roll of VHB tape. And then we have some magnets in here. and we have a whole bunch of bolts and, oh man, bolts and screws and nuts and spacers. Okay, wow, this is going to be fun. A lot of parts. A lot of parts for me to drop on the studio floor. Did I retape the box and open it again today? Kind of. But we're opening again. I didn't pull anything out of the box before, so I have to have effect for my video that I actually cut it open. Build plate. Build plate? Okay, now I knew this was small, but is this the kind of build plate that you add water to and it grows? No, I'm kidding. Wow, that is a tiny build plate, but good. So we have the really cool yellow springs. We have a cable, a chain doomer thingy linky thing. Looks like we have 3 leveling knobs, knurled nuts, and a build plate. That is a cute little build plate. Cool. I knew this was a small printer. I don't know the build volume exactly, but it's almost too cute. It's so small. So there we have the build plate, and then we have, this is all the, I'm guessing this is all the side panels and everything. So there we go. Let's get rid of the box now. There we go. Whew. Nice unboxing. A lot of very small parts. Yes. Hey, Mike. Never let the machines win. Mike is here. Welcome. Oh, Mike, I've been meaning to thank you for the last, little while when you've been on my streams. I've been meaning to thank you very much, actually. You were the one that recommended Affinity Designer to me, and I purchased Affinity Designer, $75 Canadian, which isn't bad, as an alternative to Illustrator, and I very, very, very much like it. I love it, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, thank you. I find some of the stuff that's in that program incredible for the price you pay for that program. So thank you very much. You moved over to Twitch to chat. Okay, Jerry, no problem. Anybody can move anywhere they want. It's not a big deal. Okay. I'm just pulling these out just to start opening up a few things here. Not that I'm going to use these panels yet, but we're just going to open up a few of these parts here. I'll leave it at that for now because there's some clear panels and it looks like there's some black panels too. So very cool. And it's been incredible. It's incredible the amount of parts that they're providing plus the amount of printed parts. There's a lot of parts here. So I'm going to split to the 4-camera view. And I can turn the ticker off because I've got their little ad running down in the bottom there. So let me turn that ticker off right there, give them a little more real estate here. And Twitch for you, yeah, okay, that's fine. I can tell who's on Twitch and who's on YouTube on my StreamYard window here, so that's not a big deal at all. So I'm going to just open a bunch of these parts right now and have a look at them. And then I do have on this other screen as well, on the bottom left, I do have my, I can show the full screen on that one too. I do have the assembly manual ready to go. So one thing the assembly manual does mention is basically to confirm all the parts that I have received. So, and that's always a good thing to do, to confirm the parts before you actually dig too deep into the build, because the last thing you want to do is get somewhere and say, oh crap, I don't have a part for this. So I'm just going to have a quick peek at this. I have a Voron design sticker, and then this is basically a bill of parts that they have provided, and it's wow, 100 zip ties. They give you everything here, like 130 M3 hex nuts, 110 square nuts. There is a lot of hardware that goes into this little guy. Man, it seems like even more hardware than I had for the rat rig, but that's cool. That's very cool. No ads and no visual distractions here on YouTube. Exactly, no ads. And I honestly, I can't control, or I don't control the ads on Twitch because it is what it is. I don't ask people to subscribe on Twitch because I'm not in Twitch to make money. Oh, and we have an LDO Motors sticker. That's awesome. I love stickers. 2 LDO Motors stickers. I just love stickers. And I love getting stickers from different vendors. Yeah, and I don't ask people to subscribe. I'm not doing it for the money, and I'm doing it just to help people and yada, yada, yada. I do prefer, like, that's why I do these kind of streams on YouTube and my chill and hang out. And, you know, here I'm just farting around the studio stuff on Twitch, and I'm fine with that. So they give you 3mm hex nuts and 3mm square nuts. You choose which style you want to use. Okay, cool to know, Brent. And I am start counting what? No. Yeah, Mark. No, stuff like that, I'm not necessarily going to count because I can always get those things. It's the major parts I check out. Now, the one thing I did do extra, do I have any in here? I do. I was looking on a couple of the different sites, and now one thing I have heard is that it's very difficult or tedious to work with, and that's a square one, with some of these small hex nuts and stuff in the extrusions, and that if you forget to put them in the extrusions, you basically have to take it apart and go back and fix where you screwed up. And so one of the things that I have been cautioned on, and I've been reading everywhere, is don't forget to put your nuts and stuff in the extrusions as instructed. Otherwise, you will be screwed, basically. So what just went bing, 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 bing? I don't like when my computer just bing, bings on its own like that. It's probably telling me to put that ad back on. But one thing they did give me in the close-up camera, is the close-up camera one of these cameras? Why isn't it one of these cameras? Is one thing I did print, and it was recommended, was they're tiny, and you can kind of see it in my hand, and it's basically a little adapter, I guess. You put the hex nut in that one, or you put the square nut in this one, and apparently then you take these and you run them down the rails, and it's a whole lot easier than just putting the nut itself in the rail because they slide back and forth and so forth. So I printed a whole crap load of these little things. I've got some more printing in black, et cetera, because they're supposed to help. And as you can see, they take up little, if any, filament. I mean, it's minimal use of filament. So I printed probably 50 of each of these. I don't know how many I'll need. Obviously more than that because there's 110 nuts. So we'll see. There we go. Which parts do you believe may cause injury due to build? Well, Dougal, maybe when I'm putting the heat inserts in the pieces, because I have to deal with a hot soldering iron, possibly. They give you, yeah. So that could very well be where the injuries happen. So let's open the, let's have a look at the linear rails. See what's involved in these guys. Let's check all these parts, and then we'll go. Oh, they're so cute. Oh man. Oh, look at those. Like, oh, have you seen anything so cute? They're just so tiny. I love them. Look at that. Anyways, oh wow. Those are some cute linear rails. There's another piece I didn't have to print. They have STL files for these. These are, I'm not sure what they called them, but they said basically, no, you don't have to print them because they're included in the kit. So that's a good thing to have too. Baby rails, they are baby rails. Yes, they are. Okay, so there's our linear rails are out. We can leave them out for now because I don't know the order that this thing gets all built in, but hey, I want to see the frame kit. Let's open the frame kit and have a look at the frame. Okay. Oh, another LDO Motors sticker. I love it. That's 3 of them. Cool. Okay, let's put the sticker right there. Make sure I'm not missing any more stickers in here. Okay, and my garbage box right down here. And here we have, oh man, these are cute, I think. Take pictures for videos or posts. Yes. Well, this is being recorded on YouTube, of course, but I will take pictures of some. Oh man, oh man, look at these. Look at these cute rails. Look. They are they're adorable. What are these? 10, 20 millimeter? No. 15 millimeter rails. Wow. They are great. Okay, cool. Let's get the rails up because I know that one of the first things in the kit, you have to build the frame. That's your XY. Oh, man. They're just so cute. I want to squeeze them. But they're aluminum, cast aluminum. They're strong. They're very light, very strong. Okay, let's pull all the rails out and make sure we have all the correct rails, because I know there's differences because some of them are drilled in different spots. Some of them are threaded on the ends. They have a really cool, from what I was looking through the manual, they have a really cool way of joining these rails so they're nice and solid, and they're blind joints, basically. Put in front pocket, give wife a hug. Just kidding, don't listen to you. Okay. Matt, do I ever listen to you? I tell you. Okay, we're just going to pull all these rails out. This is going to be a little less, what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to take up a little less space to build than the rat rig did, right? For all of you guys that saw the rat rig build, it was a beast. This is like Beauty and the Beast. So let's just get there we go, all the rails out of here. Pop that over there. We are a responsible builder. We recycle all of our cardboard. Well, I don't. I give it to the recycle people in the city. No, I don't. Okay. Man, a lot of rails. Apparently, this is like an enclosed. It's got a top hat on it, and it's got all kinds of. I still have a lot of pieces to print. I've been printing all week, nonstop on that printer. So it has a night shift, it has a morning shift, and it has an evening shift. So, like when these prints finish in there, which they have about another 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours to go for these black parts, then right away more parts going on. So because I still have to print all of the pieces for the top hat, I guess is what it's called on this thing. So yeah. Now I won't be streaming the entire build on my Sundays because I have to have this built and printing and ready for display at the Calgary Maker Faire happening in May. So unlike the rat rig where I just did it on Sundays and it took like, I don't know what, 15, 16 Sundays to complete it all. It was great. I had the time to do that. I don't have the time for this. So I will likely be doing midweek Twitch streams showing me building this and doing a few different things on this midweek whenever I can and whenever it coordinates with my tech support guys' help. So apparently it's like a 12-hour build if you work at a decent pace. But, of course, being on stream like this and checking chat and so forth and everything, I'm not going to be able to do it in just 12 hours for sure. So, but we'll see. But I do want to share the build because I think it's just very cool, and I think that everybody's kind of interested in these little guys. I know I am. I've been sort of interested in doing one of these for a while now, so I was fortunate to have the opportunity to do this. So. And I definitely want to show this off. So, okay. So we have the extrusions. Look at that. I want to have a look at this hot end real quick. When is the show? The show, I believe, if you look up Calgary Maker Faire, FAIRE.com, I believe it's the 12th to the 15th of May, or 12th to the 14th, or something like that. It's a Thursday. It's a Friday night setup. Saturday, Sunday show, and they predict 10,000 people going through the show. So I'm really looking forward to it. That is a sort of as I said it before, and I'll say it again, that is a sexy hot end. Which camera? That's a nice looking hot end. Yeah, cool. I think that's a Voron worthy hot end. Look at that. Okay, we'll put that guy back in his box. Little parts in there for sure. We don't need you for a little while, Mr. Hot End. Let's see what else we got here. We've already looked at the power supply, which is later on in the build as well with the electronics portion. Motors. Let's have a look at these motors. Extruded aluminum, not cast. And they, even make smaller ones. Oh, extruded aluminum. Okay, versus cast. Okay, cool. I don't know my metals and how they make all this stuff, but I just know that that's damn strong. And it looks really cool. And I don't know if they powder coat these or how they do it. They must powder coat them to get the colors. But yeah, okay, cool. Extruded, cast, blah, blah. Yeah, that's good. Looks, oh, they lied. It looks like some extra wiring to do here. Although all of these, they're just probably spare plugs because they have some of these crimping little tool things for these JST connectors, I think they're called. But all of the motors seem to have wires on them. So, and of course, gee, I wonder what brand these motors are. What do you guys think? Oh, look, they're LDO Motors. So that even the stepper motors are small and cute. You just want to hug them. I know you've never heard that said before, but yeah. Anyways, so that's good. So there's that size motor. Then we have a little flat. Oh, there's the Z. I can almost assure you that's the Z motor. So, because it's got the rod built into it. And there's the upper camera for you. So, are these camera views okay, you guys? Well, I just see something here. First time chat viewer from GigaView. Is that a spam? Best followers, primes, and viewers on mountainviewers.com. Remove the space. I don't know what that's all about, but I don't know. Anyways, okay, so that's obviously the Z motor. Z, however you choose to pronounce it. Then we have the cutest little stepper motor. I'm assuming that is going to be for the extruder. So I kind of think that give you is spam. So because that kind of thing, it's just not good. We are not here to advertise. So let's, oh, look at that. How do I don't know. Oh, that's on the YouTubes. No, that's on Twitch. Bear with me, guys. Sometimes you have to take time out to, oh, I don't know how I do that. Okay. We'll just do that and see what happens. Okay, and I'm going to close that window now. There we go. There we go. Cool. What was the cost of the kit? This kit was provided to me. I've got some sponsors listed down on the bottom left side of the screen there. It was sponsored by LDO Motors and Sparta 3D. It was sent to me by LDO Motors in partnership with Sparta 3D. 3D Lab Tech did provide me with the ABS filament black and olive green to print the ABS parts. So all of the parts, and I know some of them I could have got away with PETG, but I just decided to print all of the parts with ABS. And I'm glad I did because they're coming out phenomenal. That name here. Okay, so let me go on here and at DB3D makes. How do I mod you, Dan? Mod. Dan, you got a sword, so you can be my gatekeeper on Twitch. And I have a few on, I'm sure I have a few on YouTube already. So, okay. So there's the motors. Okay, and then I'm going to look at the build. I want to have a peek at this build plate. That name here. Okay, perfect. Okay, there you go. Now you can, Dan. So we have the chain, the whatchamacallem chains, to run the cables in. We have our springs, we have our bed nuts. I want to have a look at this build plate and see what we got. I think it's going to be a flexible, and it's heavy. It's pretty thick. I have a feeling it's very thick. It's a very thick build plate. Wow. So this is a with a magnetic PEI magnetic bed. Looks like it's dual. So we have a textured sheet. Very cool. Oh, we have a textured seat, PEI, and a smooth PEI build surface. So we have two build plates that came with it. Double-sided texture. And basically a single-sided smooth, but you can always add more texture to that. So that's cool. And that is a hefty build plate. That is, let's see, that is 8 millimeters. 8 millimeter build plate. That is solid as rock. Cool. Very cool. I mean, the workmanship on this so far, I mean, everything is incredibly well made. So good on you, LDO Motors. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, we'll put that in there, this here. And we have Fasteners, tools, and miscellaneous, so we can pull some of this stuff out. I want to keep kind of a little bit of organization happening here. So we have our tools with our magnets and our heat sinks, our wrenches, and a little drill bit. So there's obviously going to be some drilling involved. We have, looks like a tiny, almost like a 3 millimeter or 2 millimeter drill bit. 2 millimeter drill bit. Okay, perfect. And then we have some VHB tape, which good quality VHB tape, same kind I use at the sign shop. So good on you. And then a whole lift and bag full of premium hardware kit. It's called a premium hardware kit. So we have all the nuts, the screws, the square nuts, the hex nuts. They even provide all the heat sinks or the heat inserts. Yeah, very cool. And then this looks like these are feet. So obviously feet for the bottom. Rubber feet. There we go. Cool. It is a neat little printer so far, Dean. I'm liking everything. So we have electronics and wiring. I probably don't need to dwell into this too much yet. I want to have a quick peek at this 5-volt power supply. Let's see what's sort of involved in that. Let me just, sometimes my fingers are not nimble enough to open these boxes. So that is just oh, very cool. Okay. It's called a Day Green 50-watt DC to DC converter. Input 12 or 24 volts and output is 5 volts, 10 amps. So it's obviously there for the Raspberry Pi. Very cool. Okay, let's put you back in your little box. And I think now that I think about it too, Jerry is modded. And Dan, you should be, if you make a comment now, you should be modded. I know you two don't put up with much, so that's good. I trust you guys. I trust everybody, but yeah, there you go, Dan. Good job. Awesome. Okay, so we have this. We had part of the, yeah, that was in here. We're going to throw this in here. Just kind of keep everything a little bit sort of organized here. And these things were in with the motors. Last thing I want to do is drop parts and lose parts, and yeah. Because you guys all know my tendency to play games with gravity. And then we have tool head in motion. So this is all to do with, okay, there we go. We have all of our, there's our belts. So we have 6 millimeter belts, and they are, I don't see a brand name on them, but I'm guessing looking at the rest of this kit, they're called Gates Power Grip. And I believe from what I've heard in the community that Gates makes great belts. So I think those are good belts. And then we have our pulleys. And we have our thumb screw assembly. This looks like it's, this is obviously extruder related. We have some Bowden tubing. You have some tiny, oh my goodness. Oh, they're grub screws. That's why M3 2 millimeter grub screws. I don't want to lose those. We have some larger grub screws. We have some bearings, quite a few bearings. And then we have Bondtech gear parts. So this is a Bondtech extruder. I don't recall printing extruder. It's probably part of the hot end because it's probably direct drive. So it's probably part of the hot end parts that I printed. And then we have two tiny little bearings. Yeah, so these are all extruder parts that I'm seeing there. So there we go. So that's that. And I think that's kind of everything open now. So let's dwell into, and that's only the first, not even an hour. So let's dwell into how we start this, shall we? Hey, David Wilson, hello. Listening and putting filament on your new rack. Hope it'll hold up, Jerry. It should. What I did on my racks is I literally, when I put them up before I put filament on, I heaved on them. And as long as you're in studs, you should be fine if you're in studs. But if you're not in studs, be careful if you heave on them. But I kind of heaved on them because I thought I'd rather it break with me pulling and putting some weight on it than if I have it loaded with filament. So, okay, let's have a quick peek here. And let's have a look at the manual here real quick. Not real quick, but we're going to browse through this. So we have the introduction, we have the hardware frame. So they talk about the hardware. So I'm going to, and they talk about the different kinds of screws. We have, of course, socket head, button head, flat head, etc. And then, pulley versus so we have a locking nut and a hex nut. And they're talking here about the blind joints and how the blind joints work, which is really kind of cool. So, and then the extrusion reference. So here's a reference for the different, so they have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H as far as extrusions go. And they all have subtle little differences as far as like how far in your blind joint screw holes and so forth are. So, but they look like they're all M3 by 0.5 screws to go in them. So, and there's the frame assembly, which I'm guessing is going to be the first thing to do. Studs with nice racks. I didn't go there. All I can say is I did not go there. Anyways, there we go. So component prep. Okay, so heat insert. So we're going to have to do the heat inserts for sure on some parts. Cable chain, remove the end link. Okay, and heat set inserts. The design relies heavily on heat set inserts. Great. I haven't done many of them, but make sure you get the proper inserts. Check the hardware reference. Yep. If you've never worked with heat set inserts before, we recommend you watch a guide. I will watch the guide. I'll look for it. Let's see when we need to do the heat set inserts, though. So do I need to start prepping these components right now? I'm just seeing if, yeah, so I guess I have to start prepping all this stuff is what it's saying. Okay, well, let's, okay. It's like, where do I start? It's like, where do I start? First thing I'm going to check, I'm going to grab my Weller. Come on, undo. There we go. I'm going to grab my Weller. I can go to this camera now. I'm going to grab my Weller and see if the actually this heat insert tool actually fits on my soldering iron. I know that sometimes they don't, but then again. Hey, red light, 34. Okay, let's see. So here's the heat set insert tool. Well, it looks like it's even got heat sets already on it. It does. There's 2 heat sets on it. Because it's got threading in it. Oh, I see. You thread them in, I think. Anyways, that's why I got to watch the little video. So let's just see if it fits on here for one. Let's undo this. When Murph is, somebody in chat will definitely know when Murph is. So we pull this out. We put this, come on, please fit. It doesn't fit. Don't tell me. You'd think it's too big. It's too big. Darn. So that means I have to go buy a cheap soldering iron to fit this heat set insert in. It's just, I'm surprised. I thought they would be standard. But yeah, if you look in its visual, you can see it. So if I go to my close-up cam, you can kind of see, if it focuses, you can see the difference in size. So the top one is the soldering tip that's on my Weller currently. And the bottom one is the heat set insert they provided. It's slightly bigger, but it's just big enough it's not going to fit in. And I have another soldering iron over there, but it doesn't have changeable tips. So I'm going to have to get a soldering iron. This is a good Weller. It's part of a soldering station. So I'm going to have to pick up a cheap soldering iron from the hardware store, but I'll bring this along to make sure it's going to fit. So I cannot do that part of the prep right now. No. Okay, well, we'll just move along a little bit. I don't know how critical it is to follow the exact steps, but that's just prep stuff. So I think the frame can be started without that, but we'll see. We will see. I'm a little nervous to go out of order on some of this stuff, but there's a lot of prep stuff happening here. End of June, okay. I would love to go to Murph, but so much going on. Okay, nut adapter strips. There we go. So depending on how much M2 hardware you sourced, you may not be able to fully populate the M2 nut adapters. To fully populate all 5 adapters, you need 50 M2 by 6 screws and nuts. Okay, so I have to populate. Okay, so we're just doing a bit of prep work here. So that is these things here. No, that's not these things, or is it? Let me think. Nut adapters. It's not exactly, unless these are they that tiny M2s? YouTube is lagging? Let me have a look at YouTube. Is YouTube lagging? Lagging. Looks smooth on my end, but we'll see. Oh man, that is tiny. M2 nuts are going to fit in there? Wow. Okay, let's have a peek at these. Are we sure? That one looks fine. That one looks, wow. There's a little bit of a difference between these things. I can't really tell. Okay. Lip sync seems off a bit. Oh, okay, lip sync. Okay, so what I'll do here real quick, guys, bear with me for a second. Part of what I'll do here is I will reboot OBS. You won't lose my audio, but you're going to lose my video for a second. There we go. Let's move that down. We're going to relaunch OBS, start virtual camera. You're going to be up in 3, 2, 1. I'm back. Let's move this back up, and let's move this back up. Hopefully that fixed the audio issue, or the lag, or the off sequence issue. Or let's just do this. Can't tell. Tell me if that's. Tell me if we're on or off. It's all good. Okay, good. And which means too that now this camera's working again. Look, just to prove to you that there is a printing on the rat rig. Look at that. That camera's working again. Yeah. Okay, we'll go back to this one. So I'm just looking at this M2 nut adapter strips. So the nut adapter strips are these little guys that they provided. They said not to print, which I didn't print. But it looks like only 2 or 3 of them. Well, maybe the nuts just, maybe I'm overthinking the size of these nuts. Okay, I'm just going to scroll ahead a few things and have a look at what's going on here. So we have rail positioning, Z rails. We have the centered rail installation guide, which I printed. Okay. So they definitely want me to prep all these things in advance, for sure. Okay, good. Okay, well, let's go and look for the M2 nuts. They're going to be tiny. Open the hardware bag. Here we go. Open the hardware bag. You thread directly into them. Oh, okay. Okay, so if it says prep, let's see what you say. Oh, I see. Okay, you thread directly into them with the linear rails. Oh, I get it. Okay. Okay, I may not be able to fully populate them. That's what it means. Okay, I get it now. Okay, let's find out which rails I need, though. I need the rails that is the E extrusion. So let's go back up to our reference, the E extrusion. So let's make sure, because there's a lot of extrusions here. So the E extrusions have the holes 29.5 millimeters in. Definitely not that one. Okay, this is why I think it takes a little time to do this, because there's so let's keep the ones that are similar all together here. There we go. And that's got no holes in it. And no holes. No holes. Okay, that looks like an E extrusion right there. And that's because it's got the holes in one end. And that looks like one there. There are supposed to be 4 E extrusions. There's a third one. And there's a fourth one. That's one of those. There we go, and there we go. That was easy. So there's my 4 E extrusions. Okay. There we go. Now, you don't need the nuts. The rails are all threaded. Yeah, okay. Oh, I don't need the nuts. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, okay, so these instructions are basically, I see what you're saying exactly. So what these instructions are for is if I had printed those, as opposed to them providing these already threaded. Okay, I get it. Okay, Brant, thank you. Have you built one of these, Brant? You obviously have. But yeah, that's exactly what they were saying. So yeah, if I had printed these instead of them providing them, then I would have to insert the nuts. Okay, perfect. Makes sense. So I can skip that step and I can go right to this step. So the E extrusion. So we're going to take the... now, do you guys prefer that, or do you prefer the split screen like this? Or do you guys care? Because at least this way you can see my instructions on the screen. Depends on whether or not you're on a... now let me refresh my YouTube because it's frozen. I just want to make sure you guys that I'm not frozen. No, I'm not. Okay, good. So it's up to you guys watching whether you'd want to see me full screen or not. So I'm guessing then that I put these in. Is there a proper way up? I don't think so. So we're going in. So there's 1 and 2 of them we're doing right now. So we have 2 of them. I have a feeling that they're going to go that way up. Although I don't really... Oh, no. We're going to follow the groove. Maybe they look... Yeah, I think they go the flat side up. There we go. I think I had it right. Okay, so we have those. And now we're going to the Mgn7 rail. So these are all... I believe all these linear rails are the same. Okay. Now somebody had said something about lubing these up before I did them, but I don't know if I want to get into that much work yet taking these apart. Let's open a couple of these up. These are extremely well packaged. I mean, no dirt getting in there, nothing. Let's see. So we are using M2x6. Yeah. Dropping the carriage likely damages it. Mind the access hole position. Okay. Okay, well, let's open this up very carefully. I know we don't want to slide. Oh, that's very well greased. Oh, and they've got little stoppers in there. Good. Oh, that is so smooth. And I know they got nice little stoppers in there to prevent any accidents from happening. Okay. There's one. These are the Y rails. Okay, and come on, peel apart. There we go. And I don't want to force these too much because they feel fragile. They're probably not as fragile as I think. But I don't want to bend them or do any damage to them. And come on, they're very, very well wrapped. There we go. There's the second one. And yeah, slicker, smooth as butter. I better not get caught playing with that. Sorry. So they're saying Mgn7 rails. So these are Mgns. I think they're all the same. This is an SLR7H. I assume all these rails are the same, but you know what they say about assuming things. SLR7H, SLR1R. Okay, so they're SLR7H1R, 7H1R, 7H. So they're all exactly the same, the rails. So okay, good. Okay, so I need M2x6. Let me just have a peek at the page here again. Rail positioning. Okay, so there we go. 38 millimeters from the end. And then we have the preventing mishaps, of course, so they don't fall off. And that's what those holes in the ends are for. Okay. So let me find my M2x6 nuts. Time to dump out all the hardware. Or M2x6 bolts. And they are the cap heads. BHCS. Let's just make sure. I'm always paranoid that I'm going to use the wrong hardware. I'm always paranoid. Yeah, BHCS is button head. Okay, cap. I call it a cap, but it's a button head. Okay, fair enough. Okay, M2x6. And they're all, every bag is great. And I love this. The rat rig was like this as well. Every bag is labeled exactly what you got and how many pieces. So I'm looking for an M2x6. Except this bag's not labeled. M3, 130 pieces. M3, M2x6, BHCS, right there. Those are the ones. Found them right away. There's my threaded inserts. And there's all my nuts. Nuts and washers, square nuts. Yeah, they didn't, yeah, exactly. They only included 50 nuts, so they obviously, they know what they're doing, these guys, obviously, so. 2.5x6, so these are the nuts I need for these. Okay, man, do I have a slicker and snot on a doorknob? Nice, yeah, these things are, those linear rails are, I think they're just good to go. So I'm going to prevent accident, I'm going to grab, I just need to empty out this dish. Fortunately, I have a lot of these that I was going to get rid of one day. You know what? These things come in handy. I'm just going to, there we go. We're going to empty that magnetic dish out. You can sit on the Prusa for now. Okay, and then I can dump all these in here. There, oh, look at that, like a little tower. There we go, that way, because they're so small. And we all know, especially Mike, if you're still on here, how I am with gravity. So Me and gravity don't get along all the time. Now let's make sure I have a... I know they provided one, but I like my... There they are. This one is, I'm going to guess. There we go. I like to use my little tools. And yeah, you know, some people say, no, I want to use the tools provided by the manufacturer. But you know what? If you have better tools, use them. That's what I say. That's what I say. No disrespect to anybody else. Okay. So basically, we go in, and I guess positioning isn't really critical right now. So we have this on top, and they just sort of sit on the rail. It looks like they just sit right on the rail. And it talks about positioning in the next one. Mind the carriage. Okay, the carriage is designed to slide along the rail easy. This, unfortunately, also includes off the rails. Dropping the carriage may damage it, of course. Use the guides to position the rail in the center of the extrusion prior to fastening the screws. Okay, so I can get the screws started here. So this is where it becomes... on the rat rig, I did a lot of this stuff in advance. Let's see, did I hit a hole? I hit the hole. Okay, so I'm going to just get all these started. I did this in advance on the rat rig because I could. I guess I could have done this in advance on here, but I would have already opened the box and unboxed all the parts and started, and you guys would not necessarily have gotten a fair view of it. But you know what? It's good to see all the work involved. So what the heck? So all we're doing right now is we're not tightening anything. We're just getting all these screws started. And to me, it looks like there's enough screw to hit every hole. I'll keep talking about things because I don't have my music playing. Looks like that hole's a miss. Okay, and why is that hole a miss? Maybe they don't want me to hit every hole. Okay, let's just see. Oh, I see. They don't have every hole. Okay, so I'm not hitting every hole. Ah, okay, because this, which camera am I on? I got too many cameras going. Right there on the top camera, you can see that this only has 6 holes in it, versus the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12 or so in the rail. So they're not. I'm not required to hit every hole. Just the holes, obviously the holes that are in the little guys. Okay, cool. Obviously, if there's no hole, I can't. Okay, I was going to say if there's no hole, I can't screw it, but which is true. But I think if Kieran is still on here, he'd give me, yeah, that's what she said. There we go. Somebody had to say it. Okay, somebody had to say it. Here we go. And this one. And this one. And this is why I will do some of the other stuff on Twitch, on and off, because really I've got so much time to do this. So that one's on there. May as well get this other one started. Okay, there's no difference between right and left. And there we go. Then we'll get the alignment tools before we tighten it down and make sure that those rails are aligned properly on the extrusions. There we go. We got grip. Join the stream 3 minutes ago and already about 10 puns. Oh, Film Bones. Hello, how are you? Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Huh. This is slick. And you know what? The fact, little things like that, okay? Like, I don't know if other companies do, but of course, this is the LDO Motors version of the of this printer. And the fact that they include these little pre-threaded rails instead of me having to print them and insert nuts, that's a huge, huge time saver. Number one, when you're printing something that small to fit an M2 nut, I mean, there's room for error there. So it's like they thought, okay, well, let's just provide these extra little pieces to save the customer that much hassle. So, yeah, good on them. This one here. Somebody had said take the bearings apart and lube them yourself and clean them, but I didn't do that in the rat rig either, and they're holding up just fine. I think it all depends on the quality of the part you're getting and the company that you're dealing with that provides these parts as to whether or not you need to. And the fact that these things were packaged extremely well and they're sliding slicker than snot in an owl, whatever, I don't think I need to. Look at that. That went in quick. Am I just doing 2 of these for now, or am I doing 4 of them? Y rails, and then we're going to do Z rails. Okay, well, let's do these. Let's do it in the order. Okay, so you have Y rails. Y rails. Now I've got to find in this sea of parts, in this sea of printed parts, I've got to find those adapters I printed, which shouldn't be too hard to do, he said. But let's have a peek here. Let's just, shouldn't be too hard to find them. And again, for those that just joined, I printed all the parts out of ABS, and they were all printed on the FlashForge Creator 3. It's the only enclosed printer I have. There's one of them right there, and there's the other one right there. It's the only enclosed printer I have. First time running ABS for the most part. I've run a bit of ASA, but I've never run a big job on ABS, and I am flabbergasted as to how well these parts came out. Super, super, super clean. Okay. So now we've got all these in, and it says to mind the access hole position, which is, access hole position is right there. Okay, so we have the access hole position under my finger here, and they're going to give me a specific measurement here. So 38 millimeters. Where is my, there it is right here, my trusty zeroed caliper, calipers. Calipers? Yeah. I think that's called a caliper. Doesn't matter. It's what I'm calling electronic digital caliper. And when did Elmer show up? 42 spools on the new rack with 4 PLA plus braces, not all full spools. So it's working for you. Good stuff. Last saw the rat rig build. Nice to see more variety of builds. Good. Canuck builder, of course. Where are you from, Phelan? Cool. So they want 38 millimeters in. So I'm going to 38 millimeters. Let's lock it at 30. Oh, this doesn't have a lock on it. These are just cheap ones, but they're carbon fiber, and they're very lightweight carbon fiber. I like them because when I'm measuring magnets, it's so much easier. Let's go 38 millimeters. 37, 38.3, 38.2. Come on. 38 millimeters. There we go. So let's get our little spacer here. There we go. So these little spacers basically go over the rails like this, as you can see them. Oops. To hold the rail in place, so it's pretty much dead center on there, so that it, we don't have any play in them. But I've got to actually get them 38 millimeters first. Come on, lock in at 38. There we go, 38 millimeters. Let's pull this off of here. .38 millimeters right there. So we'll lock that one on. And we'll lock that one on. We'll double check our measurement. 38 millimeters. And we'll snug these up. Come on. Get in the hole. And I'm not a golfer. Get in the hole. Originally from Winnipeg, Manitoba, immigrated to the U.S. back in '82 and been stuck in South. Oh, okay, so you live south of the border, but you're Canadian. Oh, cool, awesome. Well, there's a lot of very nice people. Everybody on this stream that is from the U.S., fabulous, fabulous people. I tell you that much. I've yet to meet an American in my 3D world that I don't like, and I'm a very fussy person when it comes to who I let in my life. There we go. So we're at 38 millimeters. Perfect. Now let's do this one. Okay, make sure I've got my clearance hole there. I do. 38 millimeters right there. Double check. It's always a rule of mine is measure twice, cut once. Especially in the business I'm in full time, measure twice, cut once comes in very handy. There we go, 38 millimeters. We can tighten these down. That's what she said. Ha ha, Mika. Hey, Mika. Did I say hi to you earlier? I don't know if I saw you on earlier, but hello, Mika Steve. Thank you for being here, man. Anybody coming on, if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button on YouTube. It's free. And if you're new here on Twitch, just follow me. Follow me on Twitch. It's free. I'm never going to ask you guys to, I don't know, to subscribe. If you don't feel like it, it's great. I'm doing this because I love doing this and I love showing off the hobby. So just a like and subscribe on YouTube is all I ask, and a follow on Twitch is great. Okay, there's those two. And then we have to put the, if we come back up on the screen here, now that we got the rails on, they want me to put those little end stops on to prevent mishaps. Yeah. But okay, that's good. Alternatively, some tape. Okay, so that's good. They've got these on as stoppers on this end, but what do they do? What do they do for stoppers on the other end? I don't think I'm going to put them on right now. I'm going to just leave these for now because these rails came with stoppers built into them. Okay, and of course LDO in their genius minds, you know what? You didn't have to put a screw in. Oops, it helps if I show you guys on camera. You didn't have to put a screw in where the stoppers are. There was no screw. You only had to screw the screws in where they screwed them. So I think we're okay to have those just like that without the stoppers in them. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. So let's get on to the next page here. And we're going to do the Z rails, which is the C extrusion. So we're going to zip back up to this, and we're going to go ABC extrusion is the 7.5. So that's going to be these ones here. So the C extrusion has holes on both ends, and they're 7.5 millimeters in. So we'll just confirm that these are, in fact, let's go to 7.5. 7.5. We're on the C. And that is correct. Just like to double check. 7.5 millimeters in. We're good. Okay. Let's go back on the Z rails. And we're basically going to do the same thing. Okay. Combo of Toronto and Mississippi. I grew up in Toronto. I was born and raised in Toronto, moved out west out here to Alberta in 1988. Let's open a couple more rails here. $1988. Oh, that one was simple. Oh, slippery little bastards. Or buggers, sorry. Family-friendly stream. There we go. That rail is easy. I'm so glad these are small parts. When I was working on the rat rig, it was like, whoa. It's like, you know, this I can just sit here and just relax. Okay, let's do some more screwing. And line up the hole. There we go. Come on. How's our print coming along here? Let's have a quick peek. It's almost done. Should be done tonight. That is the 500% model of the V6 E3D V6 hot end. Cool. Coming along perfectly great. I did, so these parts for the Voron that I'm printing, ABS, it is 3D Fuel. It's 3D Fuel ABS. I am quite enjoying, and it was provided by, graciously provided by 3D Lab Tech here in Calgary. And I am absolutely loving all of the 3D Fuel products. They're Pro PLA. Oh, that's what's printing on these hot end models. All my hot end models have been done with Pro PLA from 3D Fuel. It is amazing filament. I'm so glad I could get it in Canada and locally. So, 8, you going to use the drop-in nut mods? Highly recommended. Drop-in nut mods are, oh yes, drop-in nut mods. So you are talking about, you were probably not here earlier, Senza. You were talking about, I'm printing tons of these. If I can, that's a square nut one, but you're talking about, oh, come on, close up camera. You're talking about those little things. Yep. I did a lot of kind of reading and research, and that was a highly recommended mod to save me going gray and pulling my hair out even more than it is already. So definitely. And hello, Sansa. I didn't see it pop in. Yep, I've got those all printed. Actually, I'm probably printing more than I actually need, to be honest with you, because I'm going to probably print like 100 of each or 150 of each. I don't know how many I need, but they are so small and use such little filament that why not throw 50 on the bed each time I'm printing a schwack full of parts. And that's what's printing over on the good old FlashForge Creator 3 right now. There's some black parts with a whole bunch more of those little nut adapters. Yes, that was definitely a mod that, or a little tip. The LDO Motors Voron 0.1 site has all these tips, and it tells you exactly what you could print, what you don't need to print because they provide, like what I'm doing right here with these little rails. I didn't need to print the little rails for inserting the nuts because they provided these metal inserts that are pre-threaded. And it's little things like that that make life so much easier. So here we go. Okay, so we have all the screws ready for those two. Now, what are my distances? We got our center rail guide. That's fine. We're going to mine the holes, and we are 33 millimeters from the end. No stoppers at this end yet. Okay, I'm not putting stoppers unless I need to put the stoppers in anyways, but there's no holes for the stoppers, which is kind of baffling me, unless the stoppers go in where these holes are. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna worry about that in a minute. So we need a 33 millimeters. From the extrusion edge. 29, 31, 33.0. Okay, so let's do this. 33. Lock it in. Lock it in, and we always double check. 33. Perfect. And we can tighten up now. Sent me an email. And maybe a quick question. How long does it take from receiving the package to the first print for the Voron build? Oh, my goodness, Polymaker. You're asking me that? My rat rig was weeks, but then I just live built it on a Sunday. But from what I understand from people who have built this before, LDO told me 14 to 15 hours. My good friend Jason, my tech support guy, told me 12 hours. So I am doing this. So basically, you can't judge it from what I'm doing right now because I'm live. I'm answering questions. So I'm kind of distracted building, right? So we'll have to see what that is. But I was told anywhere, so you can take anywhere from 12 to 15 hours if you work at it consistently. So there's that one. Yeah, I'm guessing those stops. I'm gonna try that. Anyways, 33 millimeters. How do you creep up to 33.1? 33 millimeters. There we go. Okay, so let's measure 33 millimeters. Right there, and lock you in. There you go. And there you go. And I'll check that email. Polymaker, I'll check that email after the stream. There we go. And I don't even know your actual name other than Polymaker. So instead of using the depth gauge end of the caliper, you can use a normal and just lay it flat on the extrusion. Yeah, the depth gauge end it works nice because I can actually touch the end of the rail and touch the edge of this. I think either way works. It's going to give me the same accuracy, I believe, but that's a good tip. Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that. Do you need specific skills? Patience, and I would say to a point maybe you do. Without the assistance of the community, when I did, and I'm basing this on the rat rig I built. So this, if you just join me, this over here, it's printing right now. That's the rat rig. It's a 500 by 500 by 500. That was a build kit as well. I did that from the ground up. Without the assistance of the community, especially my buddy Jason, I would have struggled. I could have found all the information on the interwebs for sure, but I didn't know everything. So as far as skill set, not really, because all the information's out there. The only skill set you need is the ability to read something and follow the instructions, I suppose, if that's considered a skill set. Yes. I'm going to find those stoppers they're talking about, and I'm going to just see M38. So they're just talking about these little stoppers that I printed a whole bunch of. I'm going to pull a few of these out to, where are you? So many little parts. There's 3, like digging through Lego, 4. And then they're saying M3 by 8 button heads. M3 by 12. Let's lay these out a little bit. M3 by 35. M3 by 30. M3 by 8. Here's an M3 by 8 button head. Jason, how are you? We're ears burning, Jason. I've been talking about you a little bit as I go through this. Let's see if I actually need to use this. So, and that's the right size. I have a feeling because they were smart. So under these underneath rails, I was saying they've got these stoppers in to prevent this from stopping anyway. So I'll put these on here. I don't know if I need to because I have a feeling these are just going to come off later. I don't know, but let's just see. Since they say put them on, I guess I should put them on. But the only hole that it'll go into no, it doesn't even fit. So I'm sure I don't have to do that. M3 by 8, it doesn't fit. So I don't know where they're telling me to put that. And where I'm looking right now, I'll show you guys right there. So right there where they're saying the M3 by 8 basic, so they're saying to put these little stoppers on the end, but an M3 by 8's not fitting down to the hole. There's actually not even a hole that far in on the rail. So unless they're talking about the end hole on that, but you know what? I'm not worried about that because they've got stoppers in place in there for me, and it's not covering a hole that I have to put a screw in. So I have a feeling I can skip that. put the rail stops on, but the screws don't fit, Jason. They say M3 by 8s. Let's just see. There's an M3 by 8 button head screw. Whoops. Okay, let me try again. See if it's maybe just me. It doesn't fit. The screw does not fit. So I'm going to show you on the close-up camera. I think I'm going to show you on the close-up camera. Anyways, the screw doesn't fit. When I go through the end stop, it's an M3 by 8 screw. It doesn't reach down to the hole in the railing. So we have our first. Boom, boom, boom. Did you check the linear rails? A couple of the ones I got from LDO were bad, missing bearings, poor pretension, etc. I basically check them when I open them for smoothness, and they all seem fine. They all seem really good so far. There's no wobble in them at all, and they are all extremely smooth. So, I mean, yeah, they seem really, really well done. But I don't see how. Let me just check and see if this actually fits in that hole. Probably does. No, there's nowhere to. I don't get this part about the rail end stops in, because they don't fit with M3/8 screws. So I'm kind of at a loss right there. So right here, if you look, it's saying, and I can zoom in a little bit for those like me that are kind of blind, but right here, it's saying to put those end stops in. Now there's a couple things. Right now, there's an actual hole down here in the rail, but put the M3/8 in. The instruction. Oh, maybe I got to read that. The instruction will call out for nuts that were inserted in previous step, nor nuts that can be easily inserted in current step. It didn't tell me to insert any nuts in the previous step. Or did it? Maybe it's just me. No, nowhere in there does it say to insert nuts. And in here, there is nowhere in there saying to insert nuts. So, do I need to insert nuts under there? Maybe I do. You need a nut. Okay. I just, honestly, it doesn't say that. I'm looking. Mind the access hole position. Their carriage design slide along easily. This unfortunately includes the sliding off the road, blah, blah, blah. Preventing mishaps. Plastic pin stops. Okay, well, we'll put them in. Let's go to the Z. We'll put them in. And let me find some M3/8 square nuts. Or M3 square nuts. M3. Where did I put my nuts? All these bags. Square nuts, M3, 110 pieces. Okay, you guys see, that's why, I mean, you know, that's why you have the community help, right? Because you guys have built these before, and you come across this, but it just says the instruction will call out nuts that were inserted in the previous step. There were no nuts inserted in the previous step. So this is where I will grab one of my, I'll grab a couple of my square nut helpers. That's a hex nut. Where's my square nut helpers? That's a hex nut. When I want to pull a square nut, I pull a hex nut. When I want to pull a hex nut, I pull a square nut. Square nut, hex nut. Square nut. You're going to need 4 of them. Square nut. Don't drop your pieces, Tim. And one more square nut. Do I have one more square nut? And a... Dun, da, da, da. Come on. Stop mating with that. Square nut. There we go. So I printed out these adapters that were highly recommended. So I believe I just put the square nut in. And then we slide it in. Is that right? Okay, look at that. And then we can slide it down. But it doesn't say, so we put it up against. So let's pull this plug. There we go. And we will put our little adapter. Slide that in. There we go. Put this little guy right here. Right against the end of the rail. Slide that in. A little too far. Well, maybe that's good. And then we use our 8mm M3x8. I use square nut. I got the square nut adapter right now, so that adapter makes a huge difference. The square nut's not rattling around in there on me. And let's see if I can actually grip it. And it works. Look at that. There it is. Okay, that's what we had to do, right? Well, helps if I change the screen. So there it is, right there. Oops, in the end. Now, it says not to worry about the other end for now. So I won't worry about the other end for now. Don't mix these up. That was this way. There we go. Okay. Pull this plug out. Don't need to keep these little plugs, but I'm a hoarder, so I will. And another square nut in here, a nut in here. These little adapter things it's actually a great idea. There we go. Push that guy in. There we go. Grab an M3x8. Having fun yet, everybody? We still have an audience, so that's a good sign. Okay, let's put that in, make sure we're all the way up. There we go. We have a stop. There's those two. Now we'll do that on the, we'll go back, make sure I get it on the right end. And they want it on the short end as opposed to the long end. Okay. Short end on the Y rails. There we go. Y-axis rails only get a stop on one end. Z-axis get one at each end. Z-axis gets one at each end. But it tells me no stoppers at this end just yet. So it's saying don't put it at this end yet. So I have to listen to what it says. Or, well, actually, I will listen to you, Jason, to be honest. Okay, that one goes there. May as well put the other nut in here while we're at it. And this one goes in here. So this is the only end that these get. There we go. Okay. End stop. I just want an end stop. Tell you how I feel about you, babe. I just want an end stop. Nothing. Okay. And I can pull this plug. We're good. Let's get this end stop in. I got brave on the other ones and pulled the plugs first because just got brave just because, you know, I shouldn't sing on stream, really, because viewership will drop off very quick. Hey, Paul Cumber. Okay, so we have the end stops. There we go. So these are the Y rails. Put them up there. These are the Z rails. Okay. It says not to put the end steps on just yet. So we go to the next one, and then we have the F extrusion. Is that the F in extrusion? F extrusion. The F extrusions are the short ones, I believe. Let's just have a peek. E, F. So there's a difference between the F Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 2 Fs and 1 G, and the difference is the G has the holes. Oh no, hang on. Okay, I have, so the Fs don't have any holes in them, and Gs have the 27.5, but I have 2 with 27.5, so I guess it doesn't matter. So I'll put one aside for G, which is the 27.5 millimeter, 27.5 millimeter hole from the end. And the Fs don't look like they have the holes, and although they've given me an extra one with holes, so I don't think it matters. I printed all the parts myself. Adrius Jankauskis. Sorry if I butcher your name, Adrius. Thank you for coming on. I printed all the parts myself out of ABS. They're printed out of 3D Fuel ABS. Still more parts printing as I go. There is a lot of parts to print, but make sure you have a decent printer, well tuned, and oh man, this 3D Fuel ABS, I'm super impressed with it. I have not had to reprint one part. Okay, so we've got our F extrusions, our FN extrusions, and we need that one part. Where did I put it? I haven't really organized my parts in any way, shape, or form, other than it's called hunting. There we are, right there. This looks like the part they're wanting right here. Waiting for it to come into the US, same color frame. Cool, very cool. Sing us a song, you're the DeWitt man. Sing us a song, you're the DeWitt man. Really? No copyright strike, come on. Can they copyright strike you for singing a song while you're on stream? If that's the case, I'm gonna make up my own music. M3x12 button heads. M3x12 button heads. Oh man, M3x12. If they can copyright strike me for singing a song while on stream, then I give up on life. I mean, come on, really? I need 2 M3x12 button heads, and I need actually 4 of them. Oh no, those are M3x8s. So I need 2 M3x12s, and then I'm going to need 4 M3x8s. Right here, 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, for those of you watching, and Jason will attest to this, I'm sure, but if I can build this printer, and if I can build a rat rig, anybody can do it. That's all right. Your professors do the same. Printed mine from Micro Center ABS on my enclosed rat rig VCore 300. Nice. Cool. Yeah, that's the first time printing ABS on my FlashForge, and my goodness, I was impressed. Why does this not look the same? So that's upside down. Where's the circle that's on? Oh, right there. Duh, I was looking for the circle here. Okay, so this goes in like this. And in the end, we have an M3x12 button head. So let's go ahead and screw this in. Okay, and the next one, M3x12. And I don't have to worry about the way those holes go because there's not supposed to be any holes in this one anyways. Audio is out. Voice sync is out again. Okay, well, what I'll do real quick, thanks for letting me know. It's just a quick matter of being inconvenienced for about 10 seconds, guys. You'll hear me, but you won't see me starting now. Dum dum, sing us the song. He's the DeWitt man. Sing him a song tonight. Because we're all in the mood for his melody. No, we're not. There we go. Should be back, should be good. Okay. So we have this part. And then we want to turn it this way. And we want to put M3x8. So I need nuts in here again, don't I? See, they don't tell you that, but it's an obvious thing because there's no holes in the extrusions for that. So I need to slide some nuts in there too. Okay. This is why they say that the nuts and everything will drive you crazy. And I know, Jason, you warned me about that. Good. Sink goes in and out. What, a 3-hour build? No, we're only going till 8. I might stretch it to 8:30 tonight, but that's it. And then part of the build's going to happen during the week because I have to have this built in printing for Maker Faire in May. So I cannot do what I did with the rat rig and just, come on every Sunday and continue. This one is actually under a deadline. Come on. There it is. I'll just use the square nuts since I've got them out right now. This will be about a 12 to 14-hour build, I think, when all is said and done. Okay, we got the square nut in here. And one more square nut in here. These little adapters, what a great idea. I think. See if I curse it later or not, but so far, I kind of like these little adapters. So we can push that down. We can push, oh, that one slid a little easier. Okay, so we want this one. So we're going to actually, whoops, that went too far. Or did it? Maybe it didn't. Let's just see. No, it didn't. Whoever designed these adapters, brilliant, because you can just push them right to the end and they fit. Like they're the proper length. Brilliant. Bravo. Except that one's not. That one's not the right length. Okay, so we just have to pull this out. Page 18 at bottom. Page 18 at bottom. I don't see anything. Mind the carriage. You may want to use some sticky tape to prevent mishaps. Unless I'm looking at a different manual. I didn't go up one page, read where. Oh, right there. The instructions won't call the nuts were inserted in the previous steps. All nuts can be easily inserted in the current step. But it doesn't talk about nuts inserted in the previous step. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Okay, I really do see what you're saying. It should be obvious where the nuts go, when you need to insert a nut. At least to a nut like me. There we go. Like in this case, for instance, it was obvious I needed nuts in there. So there we go. We have that part done. And they want 2 M3/8 button heads just put into the end extrusions here. Just kind of sitting there in midair. I'm assuming something's going to attach to them eventually. There we go. Look at that. That piece is done. Nice and solid. Like a rock. It stood arrow straight. I better stop. I don't want to get demonetized or copyright strike. Now we are looking at G extrusion, which is the only other short extrusion with the 2 holes. And, well, why didn't they tell me not to put these nuts in here yet? Ugh. I'm telling you, drive me nuts. Drive me nuts. Aggravating as hell. Yeah, it's not obvious, but it's, I think once you get the assistance, like, let's see. Now, is this? Use 2mm hex drive to tighten the screws behind the access holes. So I need to put these. So somehow the heads of these screws. So hang on a minute now. Okay. What am I missing here? So we have M3/8s. that are going to go in there. But I have, okay, now we're going to take wrench access, but we want to screw those in. Oh, I see. Oh, okay, duh. So we slide the head of the screw in. Aha. Okay, I was confused for a minute there. I was going to say that head doesn't fit in there. But we're going to slide the head of the screw in. So we're going to, basically what I've done for those watching, and I think this camera here will show it, we're going to slide the head of the screw into the rail, and then we have to line it up with the hole like this, and then screw it in to this extrusion here, like that. Okay, we'll leave this other one loose. Oh, that's, oh. So that's why we started them on here. Okay, I was confused. I was lost, but now I am found. Hey, Andrew Osmond, how are you? Blind joint. Yes, and I was blind to see. And yes, the heads are used like T-nuts. See, I figured it out on my own. I'm proud. Look at that. And he uses T-nuts like this. There we go. And then there's going to be, it does not say, but I'm going to assume that there's only one possible position they can go in. So now we have to search and find, there we go, find the screw. Oops. There we go. One. Don't want to tighten you down too tight yet. And two. There we go. How come you're not turning? There we go. There we are. Ingenious. Blind nuts. I like this. Okay. Helps if I can get in the hole. Okay. I'm not lined up exactly. Okay, I don't seem to be able to tighten that one, so let's loosen this guy a little. Let's tighten this one. Can I get a grip on it now? Why do you seem to be stripped? That seems to be... Oh, there we are. It just kept turning and turning. I was concerned for a minute there. There we go. Okay, we're there. Look at that. That's the bed, isn't it? Isn't that the bed? That's cool, I think. Okay. Now, that's that one. We've got the blind access done. Now we're going to use Z-axis. Okay, and we are looking for preloaded nuts. Preload 2 M3 nuts. Okay, and we are looking for the B extrusion. So we're on page 21. Let's go back and find the B extrusion. The B extrusion has 0 holes in it. So we 1, 2. So that's the one with 0 holes, and there's 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why do I have 6 B extrusions? A and B look like they're the same, except the B extrusions has M3 holes on the end. But do all these extrusions not have holes tapped on the end? They should. That would be the smart thing, just to tap them all. There we go. They are. And they are. That way you can't really mess them up. Yeah, they're all tapped. So really, in theory, the A and B extrusions are the same. The only difference is that you're going to tap into the bottom of the B extrusions. Okay, so we need 2 B extrusions. Go back to page 21. There we go, B extrusions. We are going to preload 2 M3 nuts in each extrusion. Okay. And Jason, I know you and several others have reminded me, cautioned me, preload the proper amount of nuts. or you're taking things apart. And I'm going to use the nut adapters on everything I do just because it takes away any room for error. And the nuts don't just fly around like, I don't know, like snowflakes. 4 nuts. Into 4 nuts. So it doesn't matter which side because there's all the same. Come on, get in. Somebody is texting me. Oh, okay. 1. Oh, nice and snug. Nice. Nothing beats a snug nut. Okay. And 2. There we go. Okay, and we'll insert these ones. So yeah, it was highly recommended for those just tuning in that I print these little nut insert adapter things. So you put the square nut in, you slide it in, and it's snug, but it's supposed to be that way it's not flailing around like nothing, and the nuts aren't just loosening and falling out. So what the heck? And for the amount of filament that it uses, go for it. There we go. So that way these nuts are not going to fall out, go anywhere. So gravity is not my friend. So okay, so we have those 4, and then we have some M310s going in the ends, and M36s are going in the middle. Okay, so M310s. M310s. There you go, M310 button head, right? Yeah. And then I need M36's button heads. M3. Where's my M36 button heads? Come on. Is that you? No, you. Yeah. There's one bag that's not labeled. And that looks like it's going to be, it's a button head. It's an M3. And since no other bags are labeled M36 button head, I'm going to make an assumption. And I know sometimes making an assumption makes an ass out of you and me, but I'm going to assume that's an M36. I'll measure it too to be sure. Hey, Maker Viking Thomas, how are you, sir? Okay, 8 o'clock. We'll go 30 more minutes at the absolute latest. Then we got to shut her down. Okay, so I need 4 M310 button heads right now. So we're going to start them in the end, and I've learned not to tighten them because these are going to be blind joints. That's cool the way those work. That is so cool. Okay, 1, 2. Number 3, thank you for following Richard Skytrain. Thank you so much, Richard Skytrain, for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate that. I'm doing great. Excited about this little build. It's cute. It's all I can describe it as is it's cute. When I pulled the bed out, I thought, no way. But man, it's cute. I'm looking forward to this. Okay. And then we need some M36. I'm just going to, obviously we don't need them right at the moment. Oh yeah, so we're going to put linear rails on top. The linear, oh, I see what we're doing here. We're going to blind screw in. We're going to blind insert something here. Anyways, we'll figure it out. Come on. Come on, open up bag, please. Come on. Where's Mike? I haven't dropped anything yet, Mike. Pritterpron, how you doing? Welcome. So I need 4 of these, and I'm positive. I mean, I would bet my left arm that these are M36s. Let's just see. 7.4, but I'm measuring the threads, not the actual. Yeah, that's an M36 for sure. Okay, they just didn't label the bag. Okay, so looking at the picture, let's look at the next picture. Those are going to be blind inserted. Let me see. Preloading M3 nuts. We've preloaded the M3 nuts. We're going to preload. Okay, so we're going to preload these ones too. Okay. Where did I put my other? It's got a blue. It's right in front of me. I was going to say it's got a blue handle. Okay, we're going to preload this nut. We're going to preload all the nuts. Okay. So far, so good, folks. Your low-level anti-gravity device must be working better today. Absolutely. Okay, how come you're not threading? Do I have a inferior nut here? Oh, there we go. I thought I might have had a defective nut. And here we go. Come on, nut. Don't drive me nuts. There we go. Okay, preloaded nuts. You're a little bit too preloaded, though. There we go. Okay, now we're going to take the Z-axis, which was the one without the end stops put on it, without the protective end stop, and we're going to preload it so it looks like, let me see, I want to make sure I do this right. I like to look ahead a little bit, what I'm looking at. So it's going to be on the outside of the rail, so we're looking at it from behind. We're going to preload more nuts in that step. Okay, so we come here, and we're going to set it down like this, and we are going to then tighten the preloaded nut, but we're going to have to, there we will get that started because I'm sure there's going to be a specific distance they have to be. Okay, so I'm going to pull that in a little further. There we go. And I'll snug that for now. Okay, and then we're going to do the same with this one. Okay, so we have that kind of like this, just like the picture. Now, let's have a look. We'll go beyond because there's going to be now. Use a 2mm hex drive to loosely tighten the screws behind the hex holes. Don't worry about the exact position. It will be set at a later step. Okay, that's what I was obviously thinking about. So we've done that. We've got these. We've snugged these up a little bit. Now we're going to turn this around backwards. We're going to preload 3 M3 nuts on each rail. Okay. Okay, apprentice, take care. We'll catch you on the next one. Hex. Maybe I should break out the hex. Doesn't matter. I seem to be only finding hex ones right now. Let's bring a bunch of these out here. Here we go. Okay, there's some square ones. Square M3. I don't favor square or hex. I'm an equal opportunist nut shape guy. Okay, come on. Let's turn this around carefully this way. I prefer to insert my nuts while lying down. One. Okay. Watch your time. Good night. Good night, Mark. Yeah, I'm going to watch my time. 8:30 latest. I just want to get a few more steps done. 2. And thanks, Mark. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. And 3. Come on. 3rd one. Just want to get some resemblance of something finished here. Oh, that one is fairly loose. There we go. And then 3 more on the other side. 1. Yeah, we'll call it quits here soon. There we go. Brilliant idea, these little adapters. Brilliant. They're for wimps, but hey, I don't care. I'm a wimp. I'll take whatever little cheat or little helper I can get. 2, and of course, of all the ones I dumped out, there's not one more square one in there. I'm printing a whole bunch of these things, so there's another square one. 3. Okay, David, thank you so much. No fire or blood tonight. No, nothing. No mishaps tonight. Just a few confused looks. If you want to consider that a mishap, just a few confused looks. Okay, we got the 3 pre-nuts loaded. We preloaded 3 M3 nuts. Say that fast. Direct feed versus Bowden. If you're planning on running a Bowden setup, preload additional 2 for a total of 5 into the marked position. The extruder can be mounted to these later. Am I doing a Bowden? That's a good question. Am I doing a Bowden or am I doing a direct drive? You know what? Let's push these down. Ouch. Push these down. Why not just load an extra 2 in each side? Nero 3D, the Voron guy, can use them, so can you. Oh, he did he? Okay, cool. We're going to do another 1, 2. I'm sure they give you enough nuts. If not, M3 nuts are not hard to come by. Come on, where's all the square ones? 1, 2. 2 more. 2 more is all I ask. 2 more square nuts for my kingdom. Hex nuts. Square. 1 more. Come on, 1 more. Hex. Hex, hex. Oh, I'm going to have to break open the... Am I going to have to break open the hex nut bag? Oh, hell yeah. Well, let's... M3 hex nuts. Let's open some hex nuts. There's an ouch. I jinxed myself. Yeah. 4 hex nuts. There we go. We'll just add a couple. You know what? I'd rather add them and not need them than need them and not have them. Right? So 1 and 2. So if you're planning, have 5 instead. Okay, yeah. And again, what the heck? And I believe they're going to be hidden anyways. It's not like the people are going to see just loose nuts hanging around. Unless they look at me and say, there's a loose nut and he's hanging around. But okay. 1. Let's just add them. Because I honestly don't know if it's a Bowden setup or a direct drive setup. I have a feeling it's a direct drive setup, but I'd rather err on the side of caution. Oh, come on. Of course you don't want to go in. Okay, so let's try a different adapter. Bumper sticker. I think direct drive was part of the kit. I believe so. But I can always use these to mount, I don't know, a camera or something too. You know, mount an accessory. There we go. Okay, cool. Doesn't take much just to add a few extra nuts. Wrench access. Yeah, we've got wrench access. Now we're going to put the top one on. Okay, so we're going to finish this top part. So basically, we're doing the same thing, except on the other end. So we need to move you in. Whoops. That wasn't an ouch. That was just a whoops. So all I'm doing here is just trying to get, there we go, get the screws lined up a bit here. There we go. We're obviously not lined up properly, but that's apparently something that'll be taken care of later. And it's the same idea. Wrench access uses a 2mm device to loosely tighten the screws behind the access holes. Loosely tighten. Is that an oxymoron or what? LDO rails. Mini afterburner is DD, is direct drive. Mini afterburner. Yeah, I think I have Bowden then, probably. Okay, we're at this stage. So I think now that we're here, let's see. How much further do I want to go? H extrusions. H extrusions are H extrusions, quantity of 2, and they have the holes in them. And that's these ones. Quantity of 2. Maybe we'll just get this next step done, and so that's there. Now we do the H extrusions basically to finish the frame. So this guy here down to here. Okay, so far so good. Build on a flat surface. Yeah, I'm on a flat surface. So build on a flat surface. For some of you, I was going to say something really nasty, but I'm not. I'm not going to say it. I could get myself in trouble. There we go. And then, like a glove, it fits snug, just like OJ's glove. Hey, Jason, are you going to say, and now do you want to know the easy way at all? Like, or when do I get to hear that? I was going to wear the shirt tonight. I should have. There we go. We have what looks like in the picture. That's just what the picture looks like. Look at that. I'm kind of feeling like just a little bit proud because now is when we do the measurement. So let's do that. Adjust the position of the Z rails to match the dimension shown on the right. Ensure the extrusions are parallel to each other as they will help in tramming the Z axis. For best results, only measure starting from the left extrusion shown in the picture. Okay. So that's this way up. So we measure starting from the left extrusion. So we're going to measure 58 millimeters inside to inside. Okay. Let's just see real quick. You reserve that phrase after the frustration. Okay, 58 millimeters inside to inside. Yeah, that's. Would you believe it's 58.0? No, it's not. So we can loosely loosen these now. We loosely tighten them. So now I can, if I can find the hole, there we go. Now I can loosely loosen them. There we go, so that we can actually slide left and right. So what I'm going to do, there we go. I don't want to scratch my frame. There we go. I'm going to measure 58 millimeters. Okay, what's the easiest way to do this? I think I know what I'm going to do. I don't want it to fall off. Well, actually, I can. So theoretically, I can just take this off for a second. I've got to get a square and make sure these are 90 degrees too, although my workbench is very flat. But I'm going to give myself 58 millimeters right there, because that'll be, I'm just going to quickly do something. .58 millimeters, good. Just a tiny, 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 tiny scribe. I know this might not be the way everybody would do it, but this is just me trying to be as precise as possible. 58 millimeters. Hmm. .58 millimeters. Nero and Steve recommend using a square on everything. Yeah, I need to. I should get a square. I may actually do this part over. I'll get a tiny square and redo that. So I can slide that down and then this up and then flat on my surface and right over to my 58 millimeter scribes right there. And that one is right there. 58 and 58. I'll snug this down for now, but I think what I'll do before I go too far, it's interesting. It's interesting that the instructions didn't kind of, well, I would do it a little differently in a sense. I would, and I may come back and do this. So I measure, so I would personally, and I may do this, take these two off, which I can because I've embedded the nuts in the back, or take one off at a time, take it off, make sure I'm 90 degrees, get this outer frame square first. Then go ahead and mark my 52 millimeters, and of course on the ends 58 millimeters. Oh, hopefully I did 58. Oh, I did 58. So I can double check that. And I'm 58, and I'm 58. I'm right on. But being right on is okay. But if this isn't square, if this part here isn't square, too many cameras, then what's the use? So I'm thinking what I'll do is get a little square, take these off, measure, make sure this frame is square, snug it up square, which it should be. I think it is. If my eyes are pretty good, I'd say that's square. And I can also tell by measuring corner to corner. So theoretically, I should be able to, if I had my tape measure handy, which I don't, but then this thing won't quite fit that distance, will it? Unless I go like this. I can eyeball it, but I'm going to do it better after. So I can eyeball it and say that distance is equal to that distance. So right now, they are exactly the same. That one might be like a smidgen taller. But so I think the proper thing to do would be to take these guys off instead of fiddling with these and trying to fiddle in. Get this bottom one square, then come in and measure these guys in. But I'm going to get a little square to make sure. So opposite corners till equal. Yeah, and that's what I just did, Brendan. Yeah, and I think based on my little quick measurement there, I think they are. But number one, I need, I don't like using a pull-out tape measure for it because it's awkward. So I need to get myself a little, half meter long metric ruler so that I can actually lay it flat on here and be as accurate as possible Because I want to be accurate on this like I was on the rat rig. So, but I think it's 8:21. I think we've made some good progress tonight. Oh, I just lowered my chair. my leg hit the little thing, and let me put my nuts back in my bag. I just realized what I said. I got to seal my nutsack up. I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. Let me put my nuts back in the bag and seal the nut bag up. Oh gosh, well, it was a good start. I mean, not a bad start. So let me just get back to this camera. There we are. Not a bad start. I think it made some headway. I'm a little nervous. Yeah, but not that bad. And Jason didn't have to intervene too many times. Highly recommend watching Nero's videos. Yeah, I've watched his on and off. So, but and I've watched his on and off. But and I'm going to be honest. Part of my journey is doing it. I watch some videos, but then part of it is just seeing, can I do it? And it's not like I don't like other people's help. I do. Otherwise, Jason wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have that T-shirt. Let's put it that way. But I want to basically try and get this, figure out my mistakes, figure out ways of doing things, et cetera, et cetera. So, but I'm kind of, number one, I'm overwhelmed with how tiny this thing is. It's great, but I'm kind of happy with the way things are going so far. Anyways, we're going to call it a night, guys. During the week, I may do some Twitch because I cannot wait till next Sunday and then the next Sunday to keep, because this has to be done by the Maker Faire. So we're going to be at different stages come next Sunday. We're going to be at a different stage. But anytime I'm here working on this, I will be streaming on Twitch when I'm working on this. So actually, I'm going to be streaming on YouTube at the same time. Sorry, I will be on YouTube possibly and Twitch while I'm doing this because I want the video to be recorded. I don't get recorded on Twitch. I get recorded on YouTube. So any night, whether it's a half an hour I can spend on it, whether it's an hour, whether it's 2 hours, I will be live doing whatever I'm doing here. So, and I won't know. It's going to be an impromptu. Okay, I've got some time tonight. I'm going to go live for a couple hours. Let's get some more built on this. And that way we can get it done. And I know Jason is going to want to come on stream with me the odd time. And if it's just Sundays, that's great. But anytime, Jason, you're welcome. Just, let me know, hey, I'm here, and I'll fire you the link, and we can do that. But did pretty good tonight. Now that I've learned a few of these little tricks and quirks, then I think we're going okay. So I'm going to continue printing parts, and we're going to go from there. So thanks, everybody, for hanging out. For everybody that stayed, and it's been great. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate that. Your words of encouragement mean a lot, and I'm serious about that. So, and I'm not always very serious about things. So that means a lot. And I've just lost my mouse. There's my mouse. So I will see everybody next week, and thank you guys for hanging out. It's much appreciated. And until next time, we will be back next Sunday doing this, but as I say, during the week as well. So everybody have a fantastic week. And thanks for hanging out, and thanks for all the help and tips tonight. It's very much appreciated. So we will catch everybody later. Have a good night, and bye for now.